Welcome everyone to the Omniverse of Nick and the semi-final part, hashtag part 6, to What If Vegeta Became Immortal, getting into Battle of Gods, past and kind of into the Resurrection F arc, and into the Tournament of Power. Yeah, we're covering a decent bit in 15 minutes, so that should let you know what's gonna come. For that, smash that like button and subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick so you can help me make this channel bigger, better, get more awesome stories out, and so you do not miss any of the stuff that I bring out to you guys. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. So, last time we ended the Buu arc with Piccolo, Vegeta, and Gohan pretty much demolishing Buu, and Beerus and Whis' entrance. Now, that would pretty much play out the beginning as you would expect, except when Beerus meets Goku, which would still happen, Whis would inform him of such. He wouldn't say that Goku was the one who defeated Frieza, but he would notice that Goku's on the North Kai's world training. But Goku's dead. So, that's different, and also Goku would be at least significantly stronger in his Super Saiyan 3 and would give Beerus kind of a better fight, but wouldn't be able to land a hit in. Then Beerus goes to Earth, where he meets everybody, and there's no fat Buu to mess with his pudding, so he gets to eat that, but still gets mad at Vegeta, the leader of everyone, when he can't figure out about the Super Saiyan God, and takes his anger out on Vegeta and possibly others. And whenever it becomes escalated, Beerus just decides he's gonna destroy Vegeta, because if he can't get the Super Saiyan God, then destroying the planet isn't good enough. He needs to set an example before destroying the planet. Maybe even taking out the prince will spite some knowledge. And, you know, he has a thing with King Vegeta and everything, so why not? And sends a Hakai out on Vegeta. But when the smoke clears, Vegeta's still there, severely injured, but his body is still there. And then within seconds, he regenerates, and he tauntingly smirks at Beerus, saying it's going to take a lot more than the God of Destruction Beerus to kill him, the Prince of the Saiyans, and that he should have came and killed him before he killed Frieza, with the power he's just about to demonstrate. He raises out both of his hands, turns Super Saiyan 3, and is prepared to attack, when all of a sudden, Beerus holds a hand out and tells him to stop. This isn't Beerus fearing Vegeta, and this isn't him saying that he's going to leave or anything. This is him showing actual, impressed manners towards Vegeta for not only seemingly becoming immortal, but defeating Frieza and exploiting what the Saiyans have to become immortal. So he actually invites him to the planet of him and Whis, and he offers to train him because he has impressed Beerus that much. Piccolo and Gohan offer to go too because of their enormous strength, which Beerus and Whis would see, and Piccolo, apparently to Beerus and Whis, is also immortal, which just intrigues Beerus more. They're just taking advantage of immortality. And then Gohan and Piccolo, also Beerus because they were there, mention the likes of Goku, and that Beerus actually fought Goku. And this gives Beerus an interesting idea towards the Super Saiyan God and all that. And for Vegeta and everyone else to get better training. So they go to the North Kai's world, and Whis just resurrects Goku. I know this seems all very rushed and easy, but you gotta think of how it would affect everyone with the immortality and, what feelings would be going on. Because, yeah. And Goku, since he was dead for far longer than the Cell Saga, that means that he wouldn't be opposed to coming back to life. And he would have trained in other worlds significantly longer, meaning that he would have not only perfected Super Saiyan 3, but practiced with Kaioken in Super Saiyan after mastering it in his base form. Then he would go into Super Saiyan 2, and he wouldn't have it mastered in Super Saiyan 3. I'm not going to give him that much, but he would be very close to mastered Kaioken Super Saiyan 3. And let's be honest, a mastered Kaioken Super Saiyan 3 Goku would look freaking sick. It's a shame that Super Saiyan 3 was never, practiced with more, but that's beside the point. Vegeta would be trained on his own, like he did, to go Super Saiyan God, which would be much easier because of his immortality. And through this training and even faster results, Beerus wishes to fight him for his intriguement and impressed manner towards the prince, for even letting him live with the immortality and everything, and not just, using the Super Dragon Balls or something to wish it away. That'd be too easy, especially if he's going to become a Super Saiyan God. And Vegeta's manner makes Beerus go full power and blue in the midst of battle. But when it seems Vegeta has surpassed Beerus and is ready to finish him off, he doesn't. Beerus offered to spare everyone on Earth, including himself, even though him and Piccolo are immortal. So, he's doing the same here. He doesn't wish to kill Beerus, he wishes for Beerus to train him, and then for him to take the God of Destruction mantle properly. He respects Beerus because he really has no choice. And so, training would resume with him and everyone who Beerus would allow on the planet, starting with Goku. He would unlock Super Saiyan God and God Kaioken within not too long, because God Kaioken would be much easier to manage, control, and operate than Blue Kaioken. It's literally shown. Gohan would be the next to get a form. Super Saiyan God, which would be technically Mystic Super Saiyan God, considering he trained with Elder Kai. And then Mystic Super Saiyan Blue, which he would just be on the cusps of. I'm not going to have him master that. And Piccolo, here's where things get juicy, especially when we get to the next part, #finale. Orange Piccolo and unlocked potential Piccolo is already a thing, and he's immortal. So with God Essence, we get God Essenced Namekian God Piccolo with his potential unleashed. Think of how broken that is. Literally. He would be the second strongest, if not stronger, than Vegeta, which has already been established and discussed. As for Vegeta and Goku, Vegeta, once again, is leagues above Goku in terms of training and everything, because obviously, and if they had a rematch, it'd be just like how it went on Namek. Vegeta would just one-shot Goku. But that doesn't stop Goku from trying harder. Then, while all this is going on, Sorbet and Tagoma resurrect Frieza. But there's something a lot different with this resurrection. Not only is he resurrected into his first form without needing medical equipment, but the soldiers and everything find planet Namek. Because remember, it was never destroyed. So that means that they would use Namek to resurrect Frieza. And I have a feeling that Frieza's going to have more in lies for the planet Namek than what you might think. He, after being resurrected, charges his men to attack everyone on the planet and reclaim the Dragon Balls and save those two wishes, as well as getting a third. Because not only has he thought about Vegeta's immortality, but he wishes to boost himself because he knows about Vegeta exploiting his power through those power-ups and everything. He's been thinking about that a long time in Hell. Not only are we going to get past Golden Frieza, but we're going to get a little sneak peek at a form from the manga and Vegeta's probably final mistake in showing Frieza all of his immortality and power. So Frieza hatches the ultimate plan. And while everyone is blissfully unaware of this development, Champa and Vados, in between time, would make themselves known on Beerus' planet and offer the Universe 6 tournament versus Universe 7. But who participates? Well, Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, and the final member would be Kid Trunks, who is half immortal and I've already talked about in the whole series. And if it wasn't plainly obvious already, there's absolutely no need for Monica. The only reason that Monica was put in the series was to give Goku and everybody a chance to motivate them to train harder. But Vegeta literally surpasses Beerus. So what would be the reason? And everyone else, especially Piccolo, they're not even that far behind. So Monica is not needed. Goku beats Botamo the same way he does, and when Frost goes to his final form in their fight, it's not against Super Saiyan Goku. Goku, in his base form, even without God Essence exuding, is way more than strong enough to completely topple over Frost. And Frost doesn't even get a chance to use his Poison Needle. So, Goku goes straight on to fight Vegeta, and only has to go into Super Saiyan 2 to stop him. So this is really easy so far. Then he fights the likes of Kaba, which I feel Goku would train him to at least accomplish Super Saiyan, but then would appropriately and much more nicely than Vegeta knock him out. Then we get a nod from the manga where Goku becomes God against Hit, but that's literally all he would need, mainly because that's all he's unlocked. But God Kaioken, especially God, would be far more on par than Blue Kaioken. And once he gets to God Kaioken, it's a stomp for Goku to win the fight. Even if he knows that Hit's holding back, it's just too much overall. It's not even his fault. It's the power he's exuding. He doesn't grasp it fully. I mean, he has been dead for a very, very, very long time, so it's that big. Then Goku meets Zeno, because even if Vegeta's the leader, we can't really expect Goku not to have met Zeno in the casual manner. And also, I've done this before, but considering that the future timeline basically doesn't exist, Zamasu wouldn't be a problem, because there's no time travel, and yes, the immortality is something, and the mortals and everything is something that Zamasu would cling to about mortals, but that's it. That's all that would strive him to hate mortals, and it's not built up. So, no bad Zamasu. And Zeno would be even more bored without a future counterpart. So, the Tournament of Power would be set in stone, not super early, but earlier than it was. Pretty much in the midst of when the Goku Black arc would happen, I would have to say. If not a tiny bit during the arc. But before that, Vegeta, through his training, has unlocked Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, or, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan Blue, whatever the frick you want to call it, and pretty much masters it. Goku unlocks the likes of Super Saiyan Blue and grasps on to Kaioken. It is much easier for Kaioken since he's trained with it and Super Saiyan 3 for over 7 to 8 years. So, yeah. Pretty freaking long to train, especially with him being dead. He could exploit it like Vegeta does with the Zenkais. Meanwhile, Frieza is hatching a plan on Namek with Porunga. He has the first wish was to bring him back, and then he wishes for immortality himself. But the third wish is something else. But that's to be disclosed in the finale, as he blows up Namek after he makes the third wish. But he knows it's not enough. He knows that even with his wish, and his immortality wish, Vegeta could still best him, as well as anyone else who might be there, especially that other Saiyan. So, he decides to get stronger, and finds a planet with a time chamber. And yeah, I think manga fans will know where I'm going with this, but I won't say any more about Frieza till the finale. Then we get to Goku's assassination with Hit and everything like that, and the Tournament of Powers entrance. And here are the members: Gohan, Goku, Tien, Trunks, Vegeta 16, Piccolo, Krillin 18, and 17. With that, the Tournament of Power roster is set. But with the Tournament of Power happening a little early, and Frieza out waiting for Vegeta, wherever he is, because he doesn't know, and anyone else, will Earth be totally unprotected? What else did Frieza wish for, and how will it root in to this series finale? Find out all these answers in the next episode, or final episode. You guys didn't think this was the end of the video, did you? Well, the Omniverse of Nick has a new feature. A sneak peek at what's next to arrive.
You get yourself in some trouble, partner?